RPI will maintain their man advantage and they score! Jimmy Gaffredo on the delayed penalty. That's a power play goal, and the Engineers have cut the deficit in half. Big collision there on the near side, kept in by Jack Brackett, who escapes. Brackett makes a move, send in front, score! Brad McNeil on the doorstep, and we're even at 2 here in the second period. Here is Smolinski shooting, save, Koskin, boom, rebound, score! Brad McNeil on the rebound after the Engineers controlled the draw, and over halfway into regulation, it's 1-0 RPI. Well, the assist to Jack Brackett there, Dan Pridgeon, whose last point came back at the end of November against Northeastern. He missed a stretch of time. Turning and shooting, there is Evans, and he scores! The Engineers buzzing on offense. It's Evans' second goal in as many games, and the Engineers have theher first lead. Outlet feed taken away, Burchett one-timer, score! Tyler Hodson off the turnover. The Engineers capitalize on a Crimson miscue, and they have the lead back. Up in the air, Heidemann gets it low from Azadi, who works it in front, and he scores! Sutter Mazzati is having a day, and the Engineers are back in front. The other way comes Colgate, led by Newton, drags one, pass gets blocked. The other way comes RPI, led on a 2-on-1, it's Hodson. Hodson in front to the back, and he scores! We are tied with the goalie pulled. It is Tyler Hodson. And with 2:10 to go, it's 5-0! Back here on ESPN Plus, first intermission at Houston Fieldhouse, 3-1. Colgate leading RPI in the 46th annual Big Red Freakout. Welcome you back inside the broadcast booth here in Troy. Always a pleasure to be joined by the 19th president here at Rensselaer, Dr. Marty Schmidt, class of '81. Dr. Schmidt, how are you, sir?
Doing well, Dan. Doing well.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. I can tell it's a big game when we get to speak with you. So always a pleasure. We just finished up the alumni festivities on the ice here at Houston Fieldhouse. So just a thought on the Big Red Freakout and kind of what that means to the community every year.
Well, I think it's a great tradition, really great tradition, and it's a tradition that actually started my first year at RPI. So for me to come back, after 46 of them or 45 of them and experience it, and the turnout's phenomenal. A lot of energy in the building, really terrific. And honestly, the returning alumni in the program, gotten a chance to talk with a lot of them, really terrific.
I think you mentioned it to me before. It's freakout number 1, 2, 3, 45, and 46 so far.
That's pretty much true. Yeah.
Getting the bookends here for the freakout.
Yeah.
But you're now through your first full calendar year as president here at RPI. So compared to expectation, how are things on your end, and where do you see the institute as it currently sits?
You know what I like to say to people, Dan, is that when I was approached about this position, I wasn't sure that I was the right person for the job. Still not sure about that, but I also wasn't sure where the university needed to go. I decided to apply for the position because I felt like there are tremendous opportunities for RPI. A year and a half in, I can say with confidence that I underestimated the opportunities.
Wow.
Now, I may have underestimated the challenges as well, but on balance, I think it's a great thing. I think the next decade is going to be a transformative decade for this university, and just thrilled to be at the helm.
Very excited to see what that next decade brings, quite honestly, given where we are now. You also come about at a very exciting time with the bicentennial now upon us. So what are some of the things that alumni and current students can expect besides a great flavor of ice cream at Stewart Shops?
Yeah, have you tried it?
I haven't had the chance. I wrote a story about it, but I haven't made my way over to try it yet.
It's vanilla with cherry and with Pop Rocks.
Okay.
I was a little worried about what would happen if they exploded in my mouth. It turns out if you eat it fast, they don't go off.
Okay, there you go.
So
it's a little bit different effect than the brain freeze you normally
There
get.
you go. There you go. So
okay.
that's really terrific. No, I mean the early part of the year, what we're really focused on is gathering stories. There's a booth down here. People are invited to go into it, talk talk about their first at RPI. You know, what was their first experience of RPI, something they remember. Because I really think it's important at this moment to capture all those memories about RPI and what makes it special. And then we're going to roll into the future. We're going to start thinking about the quantum computer, ribbon cutting in April. We've got events planned around the reunion that I think will be great, reflections, but also think about where we want to go. I mentioned this morning in the broadcast that we're going to have, I think it's in October, an event we're calling Ferris Wheeler's Day Off. So I think that's good. I don't even know what it's going to be, but it sounds, I like the name.
Starting off on the right foot for it, I can tell you that.
There you go, yeah.
Can you take credit for the name, or was that?
No, I've got much smarter people than me doing that.
Okay, fair. Well, on the topic of athletics as well, and we just spoke about the freak out. So when it comes to those steps forward for the institution, like you were talking about, what role does athletics in programs like men's and women's hockey play in all of that?
Well, it's so important. I think it's the number I've been told is 80% of our students participate in either intramural, club, or varsity sports. So obviously athletics is a big part of living at RPI as a student. Events like this I think are great in terms of building community spirit, so it's wonderful to see. So I think it's a very important thing, and we really want to see these programs go to the next level in terms of performance. I think it's possible. That's a lot of the conversation I've been having with the alumni. How do we keep going? How do we keep the momentum going? How do we get another banner up there?
There you go, absolutely. And then you can add another right on top of that if you get the chance. But on that topic too, before we let you go, because you've been so generous with your time, I have to have you put your fan hat on. What have you seen from the group through 20 minutes here in the freakout?
Well, I wish the third goal hadn't gone in.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were reviewing it, but I think I was happy to see them put one in the net right after the first goal. Hopefully, they're coming into the second period with a power play. Power play, penalty kill have been a bit of the Achilles heel for the team. They've turned it around, I think. So, fingers crossed, we'll get a goal early on. That kind of thing early in the period can really change the momentum. So that's what we're looking forward to. Man, well,
you are welcome in the booth to take my job anytime off of that. But
No, because you know what it is? It's the old joke about a face for radio and a voice for newspaper. So I don't think you want me up here.
Well, we certainly do either way. Always a pleasure to get to catch up, and thank you for the time today.
Thanks, Dan. It's great to see you.
Joined down ice side by Max Smolinski. Max, take us through the goal and what you saw there from the point.
Hey, Dan, just kind of walked the blue line and saw a little bit of a lane, and Dovar gave me a good screen, so I just kind of laid one out, and luckily it went in. So it's a good screen by Dovar.
So you must know that Geilander had a tough time seeing that puck. He had, as you mentioned, Tingling in front of him. Great face-off win by Tingling, but you knew enough to put it high because he knew Geilander would be going down on his butterfly.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw it going. I saw him looking in his glove, hoping it was there. But just good. All props to Dovar for the good screen.
Max, tell us about the atmosphere from your level there on the ice here in the freakout. What are you seeing? What are you feeling from the fans?
Yeah, it's electric down here. It's pretty special. Everybody, we appreciate the support. Everybody coming out. But yeah, it's super loud, so it's exciting to play, and a good spot to be in right now. 4-4 going into the third. So.
Max, thank you as always for the time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks so much, Dan. Appreciate it, guys.
9:19 to go, first period here in Troy. 1-0 St. Lawrence leading RPI. Engineers on the power play. Gunnar Thoresen will sit for two. The call is interference, and the shot from Mazzotti is turned aside. There by Cross. Quick movement there off the draw. Backhanded off the end wall and cleared as far as center. A nice set play there, Dan Fridgen, early in the power play.
Yeah, exactly. You want to go from high to low, right to the slot, and that's exactly where Mazzotti was.
Engineers 9 of 62 on the power play, 14.5% overall. Looking just under 8% in conference. Another chance on the back door there for Mazzotti. Taken away again there by Cross. Here is Bruchette. One-timer, and Heidemann didn't get a ton on that. Snapped the twig, and the Saints are able to clear.
Wow, great save there by Cross. Nice play by RPI. They knew Mazzotti was on the back door, and he certainly was wide open. But he just couldn't get it by Cross.
Changes abound as we're just under a minute into the power play. Saints on their kill, 51 of 62, 82.3%. 21st in the nation overall, sent from corner to corner. Dovar Tinling back in the lineup and therefore on the power play, which is a nice addition, but the other way come the Saints. Led by Gavars, who shoots through the wickets of Smolinski, up and out of play. That one had a heat trail on the back of it there as it goes up and out of play. 8:03 to go in the first, 44 remaining on the penalty.
Yeah, I don't know if that went off the defenseman here or if that went off of Watson. I'm thinking that went off Watson. Yep. Because there's no way it could have been elevated that quickly without the defenseman feeling it.
Well, after that, it is a face-off win by the Saints, but it ended up going through the legs of Nakins and back out to center and sent right back where it came from, so RPI will get a chance to fully regroup. Engineers were 0 for on the power play last weekend, 0 for 2 against Yale, 0 for 4 against Brown, as Tinling will send the puck in deep, and you can kind of point to some of those player changes as a reason for it, but Jimmy Gaffredo is on this unit. He's taken the spot of Jake Lee for the time being, it would appear, as Hodson centering pass in front again, working from low to high this unit as well. Far side wall, Hodson, 3 seconds to go on the penalty. Surdy, Gaffredo steps in, turns, looking to fire, and it gets deflected on its way through. This pass the near side post. We're back to 5-on-5 as Gaffredo goes back door. Pass gets blocked, and it's knocked back out to the neutral zone. No, it was kept in. Engineers the other way, back door, and it wouldn't sit there for Tinling, who was waiting on his forehand. Kept in by Brichette, loose puck there. Chopped at by Hodson, didn't connect with it. Whipped up the far side wall, and the Saints will take it back out at least as far as center and backhanded in deep. Good chances for the Engineers, but they still trail here by a goal.
Well, the best penalty killer on that 2-minute power play for RPI was the goaltender Ben Cross.
Tyler Hodson was not happy after that shift. He ended up snapping his stick as he came off the bench. Grabs a new twig there, but a couple of chances there for the rookie who is coming off of a nomination, as this one will go down and be icing. Tyler Hodson, the Bitcoin Rookie of the Month in the month of December. 5 goals and 2 assists for 7 points in 7 games for Hodson. Initiated December with consecutive goals and followed that up with a 3-point night leading into the holiday break. Led all freshmen in scoring on the team, that is, with a 1 point per game average. So just information coming. We didn't get a chance to get to that last weekend because Hodson was the Rookie of the Week. He was also the Rookie of the Month, so congratulations to him in that regard. Bunted down there right at the line by McIntosh, but scooped up by Heidemann. Sent in front. Puck was loose there. Caught Mazzotti over the wrong shoulder. The rebound was there for the moment. Turned aside, and now back the other way they come. Gavaris hits the brakes, leaving for Crystal. Drags and shoots, and a save made by Watson. Rebound to the near side point. McIntosh dusts it off and shoots when that gets blocked. Off the far side wall. Cleared back out to center. Evans was waiting there. You can hear the stick taps. Long outlet feed was out of the reach of a couple of different Engineers as Lucas Mata was changing in that regard. So that'll be icing against RPI. You can hear the stick taps coming from Cross, giving his defense a heads up as we take another look at that save made by Watson.
Yeah, it looks like RPI is pulling out into their neutral zone. They're not bringing their wingers back. Of course, the puck wasn't deep in the zone, but they got him out into the neutral zone, which forces the defense for St. Lawrence to hang in the neutral zone. Opens up the space.
Face-off controlled by the Saints. A backhand fast pass finds Buell. To the line for a one-timer. That was a heat-seeking missile there from Luke Salem, but went high. Backdoor feed from Olenjinski. That one didn't connect either, so Sutter Mazzotti will take the space in front of him. Backhanded deep into the corner after the Engineers were able to clear. They had a couple of players who were out there from that previous shift after the icing. So changes abound with just over 5 to go. The puck rebounds up and into the Engineers bench, and the clear in there by Thoresen, so that will stop play. Shots on goal 8-4 right now in favor of St. Lawrence. They have a 9-5 advantage at the face-off dot as well, with 5:11 to go here in the first.
You know, I was wondering what his intent was when he brought that puck up high in the neutral zone. We used to do a drill in practice where the forwards would crisscross. You'd have a puck carrier and the guy that wasn't carrying the puck, and they'd crisscross at the top of the zone. And the rule of thumb is that the puck carrier always went on the inside, because if you got a defensive forward or a defenseman chasing, he would protect him. He'd drop it for the guy that would be on the outside.
A good rule of thumb, an interesting thing to watch in that regard. Snapshot from the top of the circles there from Dorrington is swallowed up by Jack Watson, and he'll take the face-off, which will come in his own end. Another look at that one after the turnover by the blue line, but Watson equal to the task.
Yeah, he's out set. No movement other than butterfly, top of his crease.
Jack Watson riding a personal 4-game winning streak right now. It's his longest since he opens last season with 4 straight wins out of conference. Dates back to the last game that he played before injury as a penalty coming up off of the draw. Interference will be the call once again. It's the second time that we've seen a penalty off of a face-off at that face-off dot, and the second straight time it's going to be against St. Lawrence.
Yeah, just trying to see where that, he was on the boards, I think.
Well, the penalty will be against Will Arquette, the junior out of Brasher Falls, New York. He'll sit for 2. Engineers back to the power play for the second time. The unit that began the first power play back on the ice, they had good movement off of a face-off win by Mazzotti, and Mazzotti wins the draw. This time around, it's turned over. Taken back the other way on an odd-man rush. Snapshot, they score! Ty Nakins puts it past the glove side of Jack Watson, 7 seconds into the power play for the Engineers, and the skating Saints have doubled their lead.
Wow, that was a laser shot, and of course Watson, he's got to be concerned about the other forward, which was number 28 for St. Lawrence. That'd be Josh Boyer, penalty killer. And look, it throws it right over top shelf off the post, just inside the iron. And St. Lawrence have themselves a 2-0 lead here in the first period.
Face-off won by the Saints after the goal from Ty Nakins, his 4th goal of the season. So it's been an unusual start on offense, but the Saints will take it, a goal off of a turnover, a breakaway for a defender, and then a goal shorthanded to make it 2-0. Tindling takes it away, centering pass in front, missed the net just wide, backhanded towards the goal, saved by Cross, rebound loose, and he's got that one as well. Pushing and shoving after the whistle as the Engineers were digging at that rebound after the turnover. Let's take a look at that one.
Well, that's real good save there off Watson. Watson had a real good shot at it. Of course, you've got Tingling sitting on the back door as well.
Well, the power plays, which now we've seen 2 minutes and 33 seconds worth of the power play, have not been without their share of chances. Haven't quite been able to finish yet. Face off to the left of Cross. Won by the Saints, but controlled off of the clearing attempt by the Engineers. Pass towards Gagnon was rolling on its way there. Hops over the stick, and Laurie Surdy had been knocked down on the far side point, so he was not there to back up the play. Surdy's got possession of the puck. On the slingshot, finds the first-year Gaffredo. Forced into the corner. He was a step behind that one to the line, but not out. Surdy quickly for Tindling. Near side point, spinning away from pressure. Tovar Tindling, this way for Gaffredo, top of the circles. Surdy steps into one. Far side, the bumper play for Gagnon. One more pass. To the point for Surdy again. Bumper play for Gagnon again. Shot on goal, saved by Cross. Rebound, he was able to make another save, and it is cleared but kept in by Surdy on a nice play. Gagnon down low, centers for Gaffredo, didn't connect. The puck will stay in right near the blue line on a nice hustle play there by Tindling. Pass finds Hodson. Was looking for Tindling, but the pass got blocked, and the Engineers will regroup with under 20 to go on the power play.
Oh, good kill here by St. Lawrence. But like you say, RPI's getting their opportunities. Krause has been playing outstanding. And with each save, his confidence level continues to rise.
He is 6 of 6 on his ledger so far, as he was looking to play that puck, but we'll take a look at that one. He had it covered, but then was trying to make a quick move. It was in that general area, you'll believe us. As 12 seconds to go here on the power play. The Mazzotti line out. Here's Regula shooting, he scores! C.J. Regula off the iron and in. That's a power play goal, and the Engineers have cut the deficit in half.
Well, that's just what they needed. Great play by Regula. He's skating towards the middle of the ice on his forehand, takes a shot, gets it just inside the bar. Yeah, Kralks didn't say it, but starts off with a nice face-off win there by Sutter Mazzotti.
The goal for Regula, his second of the season, and as an Engineer, taken away by Heidemann, but knocked back out to the neutral zone. He scored in his debut in that weekend series against Maine back in October. Had an assist against Clarkson back in November, was riding an 11-game pointless streak entering play tonight. That is no longer on a seeing eye shot from the point.
He was assisted by number 19, Sutter Mazzotti.
Well, it's about as easy as that there, Dan Frigian. Face-off win ends up with the primary assist for Sutter Mazzotti. Point number 13, assist number 8, which pulls him into a tie for the team lead. He, Ryan Burchett, Austin Heidemann, all with 13 points so far this season. And just like that, the Engineers get a goal on the power play, number 10 overall on the man advantage for them this season. And that was also Regula's second goal, his second power play goal as well. He scored on the man advantage in that game against Maine. As centering pass in front gets blocked, the other way comes John Beaton with a burst of speed. Beaton, as a defender spills down, will drop the shoulder, send it on goal, and a save made by Kraz. Got his own rebound, continuing to fight in that near side corner, but eventually he was swarmed by 3 red sweaters, and the puck is sent in deep.
As games have gone on here, I tell you, Sutter Mazzotti's been working on his face-offs.
Knocked back out to center, and we'll get those numbers for you, but it is noticeable, and it's important wins. You know, you talk about offensive zone draws on power plays to kind of get the shift started off in the right direction. So a big note for Sutter, who was drafted again by the Predators in the 5th round this year. Last year, 22 points in 35 games, now working on 13 in 20. Well, at least 13 and 20 as we're under a minute to play, turned over. Tinling centers a pass in front that got blocked. One-timer from Surtee, saved by Kraz. Rebound was there, too far in front as Hodson takes a player down. That's going to be a penalty for an interference at the top of the circles as the puck had not arrived yet. Maury Surtee will grab possession with 41.1 seconds to go, and we'll see St. Lawrence go on to their power play for the first time.
Yeah, and at the end of the period here, so that means they'll have a minute 20 in the second period, where the ice won't be as snowy as it is right now.
The old fresh ice factor. It'll be called a hitting from behind penalty, 2-minute minor against Hodson. I guess it was dealer's choice on what you wanted to call it. St. Lawrence 10 of 71 in their power play, just over 14%. RPI 61 of 88, just under 70% on the season on their kill. They begin their kill with a clear all the way down. RPI was 7 of 7 on their kill between their 2 games last weekend. When you include their final game of the road swing against Canisius, they're 9 of 9 on the kill over their last 3. Missouri top of the key. Backdoor feed, looking there. One more from Crystal, who was sitting there looking for Lapointe. Lapointe's got it again, didn't get the shot away. Cleared to the line, kept into the backhand by Bergen. Play was developing along the far side wall, but the Engineers were able to hold at the end of the period, which has now come to a close. 2-1, St. Lawrence leading RPI after 20 minutes of play. Shots on goal 11-7 in favor of the visitors. After the first period, they hold a 1-goal advantage. As we take a look at the highlights, Dan Frigian, your thoughts on our first 20 minutes?
Well, 2 uncharacteristic plays. One on a shorthanded goal by St. Lawrence, and previous to that, you have a collision at the blue line and gives up a breakaway to a defenseman. But I'd say that RPI has had some opportunities, 2 power plays, but the difference has been goaltender Ben Krause.
It really has, and it was nearly 1-0 on that chance from Chapleau from the point. Jack Watson made one of his 9 first period saves, though it almost snuck over, but he was able to recover and make that play. Engineers were bidding for one, but Cross, as Dan mentioned, was absolutely fantastic in the first period, making a number of good saves other than the one we saw from the point. This was off of a turnover, Dan Frigid, and Drake Bergen was in alone.
Yeah, he just put it over just off the pad of Watson, and then short side on him, and then another look at it. And then, of course, a great save by Krause on the back door. Uzati. Wow. Real good save. And then the top shelfer. Short-handed goal. And that was Ty Nakins for St. Lawrence.
Nakins making no mistake on that one. It was goal number 4 on the season for Nakins. Before that, it was Drake Bergen's 4th as well. Then it was CJ Regula's 2nd at the end of the power play. Nice shot from the point.
Yeah, I think John Evans had a lot to do with that because he left that face-off circle, came right in front of Krause, took the eyes away from Cross and put in the net. 2-1 after one.
There you go. The shots on goal again, 11, updated 11-9 in favor of St. Lawrence. Big goal near the end of the period for the Engineers to cut the deficit in half, but St. Lawrence will have a power play in the second period, which is the period we'll get to when we return. Again, 2-1 St. Lawrence leading RPI. Stay with us. You're watching Engineers Hockey on ESPN+.